Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia, and this is the 2020 Kia Niro EV SX Touring. This is a car that a lot of you have waited a long time to see. Many of you have waited 6 months or more. Well, we have good news. This one is here, and we have plenty more on the way. So in this video, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things. We're going to start with talking about the overall car, what's changed since 2019. We're going to go through the trunk, and we're going to look at all the space there. We're going to look at the rear seat space. We're going to sit in the driver's seat and talk about the technology in this car and some of the changes again in that area. And then, if that's not enough, you can join us weekdays on our YouTube channel at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Time, where we go live with the Kia products. So we'll have this car in there as much as we can, and we can go there. So let's start by taking a look at the front of the car. Alright, at the front of the car, you don't see a lot of changes from the 2019 model, and that's okay. They cleaned up the image on the 2020 or on the 2019 EV compared to the regular Kia Niro. So you have LED headlights in here, two lights there. The Forte only has one for high beam and low beam. Here you've got two. You've got a nice bright LED signal light down here. That's just around the outside of the lighting there. Down low, you still have the halogen fog lights. I'm not sure why. Somebody did tell me on YouTube that halogen works better in fog. I'm not sure if that's the reason. You also have quite bright LED lights that are your daytime running lights down there. So that's still the same things. Other things out here, you've got a nice easy to operate charge port. You do have a light in there to help you if you're plugging in at night. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You still got the teal accents out front. You've got your little radar plate here for your smart cruise control and other safety features. You also have the parking sensors in the front. So parking sensors front and rear. That'll allow you to, in the dash, hear a progressively quicker beep as you approach something. So you can keep this nice front end from scratching anything or bumping into anything. So nice features there. Sometimes people ask me, what's under here? Is it a frunk like a Tesla? And it's not. There's actually our motors in here, and they have various other components, including a 12-volt battery, which is just a little fun fact that maybe you didn't know. Just a regular car battery to power things like your radio and other items in the car. And that's all part of the crash safety standards. This car was designed with something here, and as they crash it, it has still something here. So no storage space here. But we're going to head to the back of the car now and talk about the storage space that you do get, and it's actually pretty impressive on this car. Along the back of the car, you still have LED lighting back here. A little bit of a redesign from our regular Niro, but sharp looking lights in here. The only light that's not LED is a red signal light that's just in here. You have LED brake light up here. And when we talk about cargo, I wouldn't want to go do this video without mentioning that you do have a roof rail as well. Roof rails on this car. So something like the Kia Soul EV does not have roof rails. If you're looking to carry something on the top of your car, this is a great car to have for that. It does have the roof rails included right from the top. So we open the trunk in here. You've got a lot going on. First of all, I've got some mats in here. Well, don't need those for this video. You have a lot going on in the cargo space here. There are 4 tie downs. This SX Touring model does have a subwoofer in the side here. And when you lift this floor up, you do have some underfloor storage. And right now I've got the cargo cover, which is a blind style cover that covers across the top here. It fits underneath the floor. Lift that again and you have even more underfloor storage. So a lot of eco cars, and actually frankly a lot of small cars anywhere in the segment, are getting rid of a spare tire, including an inflator kit that saves you weight, helps you with your range, and it does give you extra space in the trunk. Kia is one of the few manufacturers that's making use of those spaces with a styrofoam area to carry things. So even if you had a trunk full of stuff, your underfloor storage full of stuff, you could still fit something like a stage 1 charger on the very bottom here. Now if you're thinking, I don't have a spare tire, what about my tires? Well, this car does have tire pressure monitoring. So you can check each individual tire, you can see exactly the pressure. Most flats occur from low pressure, and you can keep an eye on that, and the car will warn you if they get low. So great cargo space. The other nice thing is a 60-40 split fold down seat. You have this huge area here. Big opening means you can fit a lot of things in here, and the Kia Niro has one of the class leading cargo spaces with the seats down, so you can fit a lot of stuff in here. And if you're looking to replace maybe your gasoline SUV, this is a very good vehicle to do that with, and we have a lot of customers that have done that, gone from fully gas to fully electric, because they still have the practicality of a proper hatchback as well as the efficiency of a full EV. Rear seat space. All right, here's the big test. Can I get in easily? And you can see I really can. I'm about 6 feet tall, and you can see that I have plenty of legroom. I set this seat up to be exactly where I would need it to drive. Again, as a 6-footer, tons of knee room here. The floor is slightly raised, so if you are shopping for a Niro EV and you hop in the Niro Hybrid, the floor is slightly raised in our EV models back here, so your legs are a little bit more elevated than they would be. So again, easiest way to check one out is just come to Brantford Kia. We should have some in stock, hopefully, that you can test out. And a couple things I like about here, you've got a plastic back seat right here, and that means that you have a netting cover here. This is very easy to clean if you have kids in the back. One of the reasons I like to show the back seat is because a lot of small crossovers and a lot of electric vehicles don't have great rear seat room, and I've got plenty of room. I've got my whole height of my fist headroom above my head and the ceiling here, so you've got plenty of headroom. You also have little nice touches, like an armrest here. Everywhere you touch is soft, so nice soft armrests here, soft armrests here as well. You do have cup holders in here, but the armrest doesn't fold flat to the seat. It falls right to the perfect angle, and you've got an armrest right where you need it. Other nice little touches, rear seat vents back here, so you have the vents that you can keep your passengers cool or warm, and you've got a 115 volt regular plug to charge a laptop or other things down there. This particular car, the SX Touring, does have rear heated seats, 2 levels of seat heating, seat heaters, yeah, there we go, in the rear. They are on the bottoms only in the rear seats, just on the outboard seating positions, but you do have ability to keep your guests comfortable with those vents and the heated seats. The front seat of the Kia Niro EV, the 2020 model, this is where you start to see some of the changes. Now there's a few changes you won't see. Something like the lane keep assist button, which is here, also has lane follow assist, so that's been updated for 2020. The bigger thing you're going to notice as soon as you get in is instead of the 8-inch screen that was here in 2019, you have our full top technology 10.25-inch screen. Now when I say top technology, that when the Kia Seltos was introduced, they allowed you to have multiple users on this screen to customize this screen per driver. So if you had one driver, you could have it set up another way. They can switch to the second driver, and they can have the whole system set up a different way. That is available here. That's pretty rare because even the top of the line Telluride doesn't have that for the current model year. The new model year Telluride, the 2021, doesn't have that. So in the EV, you get the best of the best. You're also going to notice as you look over here, a little new piano black trim, a little bit of a silver trim underneath here. The vents used to be beside the screens, now they're underneath. They look small in a picture or in a video, but they blow very well. They're very strong vents, so they really do a good job of keeping you comfortable in here. Speaking of comfort, heated and ventilated seats. One thing that's kind of cool with the seats as we talk about them, they do have an updated piping. It used to be a white piping, now it's a teal piping, and the holes for the ventilation, they have a little tiny bit of a teal accent just inside that hole. It's kind of a cool look, just real subtle accent to give you that teal EV look. Same thing with the stitching in the door, there's a little bit of teal in there as well. When we talk about overall comfort, you've got tilt and telescopic wheels, so you can get comfortable wherever you are. You have a powered seat. It does have 2 memory settings as well, so if you share the car with someone, you can get the memory seat set up, no problem. You also have a lumbar support on the powered seat, which is very, very nice. Plenty of headroom as well here. You've got the sunroof up here, so typical stuff there. Like I said, that updated lane keep is really the big safety thing. Smart cruise control works amazingly on an EV. You've still got the paddle shifters, which are not paddle shifters. They can adjust the regenerative braking, and really quickly on regenerative braking, we could go into that in another video. If you're used to what that is, a lot of cars, they sort of force you to have one level of regenerative braking, and you can change that per drive mode, but if you want to change it on the fly, that's what these little paddle shifter type things do. You can allow it to regenerate a little bit extra or less just per situation as you're driving down, so that's kind of cool here. In the dash here, great display screen in the center, left side range, right side speedometer. A little interesting, different than the Kia Soul EV, slightly different setup. One other thing is your range is a little bit smaller number. Let's talk about some of those EV related things as we jump out of the car. So when I say EV related things and we're talking range, range is the real surprising aspect on this car. This car is rated for 385 kilometers of range. Now if this car has a full charge as it sits, it's going to get 455 kilometers of range. That's pretty common in this nicer weather. I'm filming this in late August in Canada, and this range is, like I said, that 450 range is common. We actually have EV users, EV owners, who regularly get over 500 kilometers of range in the summertime. Now you do lose some range in the winter, but some of these drivers that are getting that kind of range in the summer are actually still staying at that 385 or above in the winter. So depending on how you drive, you can really stretch a lot of range out here. But driving normally, driving slightly aggressively like myself, you will have no problems exceeding that 385 in the summer weather. Winter weather you do lose some, and we all know about that. This one does have the heat pump, which helps take the regenerative braking heat and give that to the heating system to warm up the cabin as well, so those things help. You've also got battery temperature controls for the battery in this car, which will also help. There's a lot of things you can do. I didn't mention UVO Intelligence. UVO Intelligence is a cell phone app. You'll notice on the mirror there's still the 3 garage door opening buttons. There's 3 more buttons as well. When you see those in a Kia, you will get a cell phone app. When you get that cell phone app on an EV, there's a lot of things you can do. You can locate your car, you can do various things, you can unlock and lock the doors, you can receive notifications if you leave your doors unlocked. But the big thing on an EV is you can control that charge, and even just someone like myself who's owned an EV for a year now, I glanced at my app and I said, oh, I should plug the car in tonight. During commercial break on TV, I plug the car in, I walk back inside, and that's my fuel stop. No range anxiety at all for me. So nice little feature to have that app in there. EV related things, this car does really, really well. Charging is fairly quick, about 9.5 hours from full empty on a level 2 charger. That's what I recommend to get. I happen to run a level 1 charger, so by all means you can use a level 1 charger and get by with these cars. I drive a little bit less than some of you other EV people, but a level 1 charger will work. I do recommend level 2 charging. Level 3 charging, this car is also capable of doing that. So just over an hour and you get 80% of your charge back. Like I said, we have guests, we have people who have bought the car from us. They drive to Florida and they've replaced their gas car completely, and the only sacrifice they have to make is that one trip to Florida. They do it a little bit slower because they drive 300 to 400 kilometers before they stop for a charge and do another 200-300 kilometers, and they stop for a charge again. 80% in about an hour and 15 or so. You can really talk about replacing a gasoline car with an electric vehicle. So I mentioned off the top of the video, if this isn't enough information and you want more, feel free to subscribe to our channel. If I can earn your subscription or a like on this video, that would be great. But if you subscribe to our channel, every weekday at 2 o'clock Eastern time, we go live and we will do a lot of EV related things. We can have a live interaction, so you can talk to me or you can write your questions in as I'm doing a presentation on a vehicle, and we can talk about the questions that you want to know. So feel free to let me know in the comments any questions that you may have, and if you want to join us for a live video, just subscribe to our channel. You can see us every day at 2 o'clock. Thanks everybody for watching.